Hello traders, welcome back to this video. So in this particular video, the video is going to be a bit lengthy because I'm going to be sharing with you my bias, my weekly bias, my bias for this week on gold. I'm going to look at USDJPY as well, and I'm going to be looking at BTC and then PIPPINs and any other token maybe that I may want to look at. But I wouldn't want to make this video too lengthy. Remember, I'm trading a funded account, and I'm equally trading using Bybit TradeFi that allows me to trade gold using lot size and then stack some trades, just as you can see right here. Okay, so we'll have some trades that we stacked here. Some of them triggered and then went down to give us profit, and then we'll have this one. Some triggered, some did not trigger. But currently, the trade we are looking at for a scalp, you can see I'm on the 5 minutes time frame, is this particular one here. So we stack some trades here, which has not triggered yet. Okay, it has not triggered yet because at the moment gold is consolidating right here. So using lot sizes, we can easily grow our account. Okay, maybe your $10, your $100, whatever your account you fund here, right? I'll come back to this, but let's look at what I'm currently looking at on gold. Gold is one of those trades. I'm going to look at the weekly bias, and I'm sharing that with you. And then we're going to be looking at BTC, looking at pipings, and then maybe we'll add USDJPY. So currently, the current price action I'm looking at is what we are seeing on the 1 hour time frame rather, right? So after gold hit this all-time high of 5600, there was need for this correction in the market. If you get caught up in this correction, well, sorry about that, all right? That is the more reason why you need to learn how to manage your capital. It's very, very important, right? If you learn how to preserve and manage your capital, it will help you a lot to keep making money as we progress in the market. For instance, this was one of the trade we took last week. So right here, you can see that this trade gave us a nice 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, meaning if you have risked $100 in this trade, you would have been up by $300. If you have risked, let's say, $500 in this trade, you would have been up by 1,500. If you have risked $50, you would have been up by $150. And for somebody who is just starting in this space, and let's say you raise $50 in a week and then make additional $100 to make you $150, that's huge, right? That's actually very huge. All right, that's actually very huge. But by the way, we'll proceed, and then I will be sharing with you what I'm looking at currently on the 1 hour time frame. We have this level on right here that we have not tested yet. Okay, the block, the other block we have here, and then the fair value gap which we have not tested yet. But at the moment, you can see that we are at a resistance. After market bounce, we came resisted there. That's what gave us this trade. And I'm looking at touching that resistance again and then rejecting from there and coming down to this area right here. As you can see, this is our trend line. Our trend line currently is serving as a support on this chart on the 1 hour time frame, right? Serving as a support. So we want to see the touch of that trend line again, and we continue to move up. So what I normally do is go to lower time frame and then start looking for areas of fair value gaps in the market where market will where will definitely come back to, and we start taking a trade to the upside. For instance, on the 1 hour time frame, as you can see right here, okay, we have this order block here, and then we have this fair value gap here. So there's a possibility of market coming to test that level, right? Or market coming to test that level, gold coming down to that level, slightly below our trend line and then bouncing up, right? What we want to see is if we touch this level and close with a wick above it, that's a good sign that we could actually start getting a trade from here and then targeting that resistance level again. Then when we break this above this resistance, our next level is this other block around that 5300 $400 dollars level. All right, this is what I'm currently looking at on good. That's this is my bias for this week. Is if we break above this level, right, I'm going to be looking for a buy to target this other level of 400 level, this price around this other block around there. And then from this level, we can be looking for a short trade coming down to use this resistance as a support. And then, market can actually continue to bounce and go to the upside, right? If you want to check from the higher time frame, like the monthly time frame, gold is still very much bullish, right? Remember what I've been saying, that if you have been buying gold like 2 years ago, you would have been, up every day. Okay, you would have been making profit every day. So gold is still very much bullish. 1 week we are still very much bullish. Okay, on the daily time frame is where we are currently struggling. If we take out this previous all-time high, then we could see gold going to 6,000, 7,000, $8,000 and above, right? But currently, what I'm playing with, right? If you check this, after this drop, we have this other block here with the fair value gap, all right? But I need to trim this down by going, because I don't want my stop loss to be too big. That's why I have to go down to like the 1 hour time frame, and in most cases to the 15 minutes time frame. But right here, I'm playing with these levels on the 1 hour time frame. We still have this other block with the fair value gap right here that gold need to come and touch. But at the moment, we want to play with the current price action right here. Okay, so we have a trend line that is serving as a support, and then we have this other block with a fair value gap here that has not been touched yet. Okay, gold has not cleared this yet. So this is what we're waiting for. If market comes back down to this level right here, we can be looking for a buy to the upside. Starting from the London section this morning, I've shared with the community already some of the scalp trade we're taking, right? Aside this one that did not trigger, or that has not triggered yet, I'm still on this trade because there are stop losses there too. We keep sharing, some quick scalp trades, but this is my overall view. So if you are seeing this video, make sure that you highlight this level, and risk whatsoever you can. Okay, risk whatsoever you can, because I will want to start dropping maybe my stop loss slightly just beneath this particular week here. If I say let's go to this other week around there, that could be huge. But another thing we can do is go down to a lower time frame, maybe like to the 15 minutes time frame, and start looking for a better entry. But that means you need to wait for market to eventually start coming down to that level before you could actually see a clearer entry that will reduce the amount of money you'll be entering that trade with. Okay, so if I come down to the 15 minutes time frame, instead of using this 1 hour order block right there, we can use the 15 minutes, the one from this 15 minutes right here. And you can see too that there's a fair value gap around this area. This one has already been mitigated, so you can use this right here to now enter a trade and reduce the amount you see, instead of entering at this early point here. But that trend line is what I'm still looking at for, right? You could actually come down here, and your stop loss will eventually go slightly beneath that previous swing low there, right? And you'll be looking for a 1 to 3, so targeting that resistance there or slightly above it, okay, could give us that 1 to 3. All right, but in this case, this may not play out. But what I'm going to look at is to see if markets start dropping down to this level. We'll start looking for entrings to the upside, right? We can start looking for entering around this area to the upside. But at the moment, let's just watch and see what happened, right? But if we break above this resistance here, remember, we could see opportunity to move with the market up to that 400 or 500,000, $5,500 level for gold. So pay attention to this, and believe me, if you are patient enough to start trading gold, you definitely do. A lot of people run away from it because of how volatile it is, but that volatility is what some of us plays on. We take advantage of to start making some money for ourselves. All right, that is it for gold. So keep an eye on this and join us on Telegram if you are not there already, because I'll be sharing these updates with you as the week progresses. The next trade I want to be looking at, let's go to BTC first. Okay, so we'll go to BTC USDT. Let's quickly look at BTC. So right here on BTC, let's go to that monthly time frame. Okay, let me just take out some of these drawings. So BTC, for the past few months, I said it in my previous video, for the past few months, BTC has actually been very bearish, and it is always a sell that we're going to be looking for, right? We've broken this structure right here, so maybe this market will push up if you check out this other block around here, there is, this fair value gap, though we could actually take this as tapping that area there and start coming back down. All right. Maybe if we see this market push up to that 100K level again, we could be looking for more opportunity to sell to the downside, except we'll break a structure to the upside, right? On the monthly time frame, that's what I'm looking at. But just have it that there is this other block around that 110, $111,000 level that market may likely return to. All right. So let's get a clearer picture from the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame too, we could actually see that there is this area right here. Okay, we could highlight this other block around this area. Okay, and there's a fair value gap, right, which market may likely come back to. And this area here on the 1 hour time frame serves as a strong resistance, because market consolidated here on the daily time frame, rather market consolidated here for a while before breaking down to where we are currently, right? So we could actually see a bounce from right here going back up, but the tension of war, US, Iran, and the rest is actually making a lot of people go for gold and silver as their safe haven. But at the moment, just keep an eye. Technically, what we'll be looking at is gold bouncing back down to that level of 93, 94, and then maybe we could be getting a trade to the downside, right? So if we go to the daily time frame right here, remember this is the level I said that market consolidated for a while, and then eventually we broke. And once we broke below that level, you see we use it as a support. It be this area here. Okay, so if you take your trend line, this area here was a strong resistance, and then we broke it, a strong support rather, broke below beneath it, and then use it as a resistance, and then market started dropping from that level. Okay, market started dropping from that level. So what I'll be looking at, if I go down to that 1 hour 4 hours time frame, okay, so what we can be looking at from BTC right now is first keep an eye on this order block around this zone. Okay, and what we want to look at is if market can come and bounce from this level. We just play with this our low. Okay, just go ahead and map out this area as our low. So right here is our low. Okay, and then we can take this other area here as our high. So we want to see how market plays within these highs and lows of the 4 hours time frame. But right there, and then the next thing I want to do is to take my Fibonacci 2, because I want to see at least 50% or 0.618 level retracement, and then I'll start looking for a buy. So we're focusing on this price action around this area, right? So if I take my fib level from this week to that high there, which we have mapped out already, so our 0.618 level, which this zone here, these three lines you see here, are my golden levels, right? So those are the levels where I'll be looking at taking a buy on BTC, starting from this level of 64,600. Okay, from that 64,600, and then our stop loss, if we take that stop loss beneath this week here, that would be around 7-8%. So with the 10x leverage, I think we can manage this, right? Yeah, with the 10x, or you can do 4-5% stop loss there, and then looking for a 1 to 3 risk to reward, which would take us to around that level of 74K. Okay, around that level of 74K. So this is what I'm looking at for BTC. So I'll be setting limit order to see how this will play out right here. Okay, we're going to be seeing how this plays out. But if we take out all of these golden levels, then it means that BTC is ready to continue to go down. Okay, BTC is ready to continue to go down, but I still feel that BTC will come test that level, even if it has to go down before it continues to go down, right? That's what I'm looking at for BTC. My buyers for BTC right now, okay, yes, I'm still bearish, but I'll be looking if market will start climbing up gradually to clear, fill all the imbalances we have seen from the daily, from the weekly time frame. Then there is need for us to equally take advantage of that move to the upside and see what we can achieve from it. BTC is one of the major token I'm trading on my 200K funded account. And for those of you who don't know already, yes, you can get funded to trade crypto. you can get funded up to 200K to trade crypto. And the profile platform, the crypto profile platform that I use is 𝗥𝗘𝗙 𝗖𝗢𝗗𝗘. 𝗥𝗘𝗙 is integrated into Bybit. Okay, currently they are working with Bybit and then this other exchange called Clio. But Bybit is the one I use because with Bybit you have access to the more than 700 pairs that are listed there for trading. So it is Bybit I'm using. You just need to come down here, get your account, and you can do a one-step evaluation phase or a two-step evaluation, and then go for whatever account size. I'm doing currently 200. Go for whatever account size that you want, link it up to Bybit, and get access to all of the pairs that are listed on Bybit. And then with Bybit, you can now start taking trades. And when you pass, you get funded a live account. And when you start trading, you can start making withdrawal. Minimum withdrawal from 𝗥𝗘𝗙 is around $100. So you can start making withdrawals and start trading. So all you need is use the link in the video description or the link in my bio to get a 𝗥𝗘𝗙 funded account. And join me on Telegram. Let's start trading and making this money together. Okay, so for BTC, this is what I'm looking at. Keep an eye on this. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to be setting a trade using a 10x leverage. All right, maybe around 5 to 10K as my margin for this particular trade, and then we'll see how that will play out. All right, that is it for BTC. And the next crypto pair that I'm looking at is PIPPINs. Okay, so PIPPINs, as I saw that running this morning, is PIPPINs. Okay, USDT. So let's see what we have on PIPPINs. This token, let's see. Right. Okay, starting from starting from the monthly time frame, you can see this token was listed a few months ago, and then we had a spike from here of there. So you see PIPPINs for the last 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Okay, before last 2 months or so, you see that PIPPINs actually moved from this level of 0.01 up to that level of around 0.77. That's over almost 4,000% move in the market, right? And I've been scalping this token. Let's go down to the weekly time frame. Okay, I've been scalping this token and it has actually been wonderful for some of the trades that have been going in my favor. All right, so what I want to do on the weekly, let's see what our Fibonacci 2 will give us here. We are below, okay, slightly below that 618 level, but we're still holding above this my golden level. These levels of 618 down to the 0.79 are all my golden level, right? So we are still holding within that zone there. So if I come down here, you can see this is on a daily time frame, right? This is on the daily time frame. So I want to keep an eye on this. Okay, for PIPPIN, I'm actually looking for a sell because we have this resistance around this area that market has refused to break out, and right now we came back down and we are using this other level of support right here. Okay, so PIPPIN is currently consolidating, moving between this level of resistance to that level of support down there. So if I go down to like the 4 hours time frame, you can equally see right here that we came down to that support level, consolidated for a while, and then started moving up. But here on the 4 hours, we can see a very nice order block around this zone. Okay, so we have this order block around this zone here, and with this fair value gap. Okay, with this fair value gap. So all I need to see right now is this market coming down to this area, and I'll start looking for a sell around this zone for PIPPINs. Okay, so I'll start looking for a short trade around this zone. Stop loss just slightly above that previous high there, which should give us around 10 to 11%, which is on the high side. So if you use like a 10x leverage, it means whatever you enter this trade with, you are going to lose that completely. Okay, and then we can now start targeting these levels down to this my zone of 0.17 down there. So this is what I'm looking at for PIPPINs, and I'll be keeping an eye on this to see how this play out. Okay, what I expect is that PIPPINs will come back down, to fill in this other support level down here. All right, So that's another outlook on piping. So let's see how this plays out during this week. I'll be reviewing this by next week again and sharing with you. And if you want to continue to scalp gold, okay, we missed out big time on this gold trade. You can see it's moving up right fast. It's moving up fast. So we missed on this. We missed out on this. But it's fine. We'll start looking for new entries on gold. I will share another one during the New York section. So my my concern now, after London section, we'll wait for the New York section and then we'll see. I think there are no high impact news today, so but we'll see how it plays out anyway. All right. So this is for pipings, and then the other one I'm looking at is, let me give you another currency pair. If I go back to Bybit and I come up here, I can go ahead and type USDJPY. Okay, you see you can trade that as well on Bybit. You can trade NAS 100. All right, NAS 100. You can trade, GBP, USD, everything actually. Every currency pair you trade out there, you have access to all of that on Bybit. So if you want a system or a platform where you can trade crypto, trade stock, commodity, and all of that inside one place without having to log in from one app to another, then Bybit is your number one platform that you can use as your exchange for crypto and as your broker for your forex trading. So sign up using the link in the video description, or you can check out my bio for that. Join us on Telegram. Currently, Bybit is giving a position airdrop worth $100, $1,000. So you sign up, make a deposit of at least $100, and then you get $1,000 position airdrop on that. All right. So take advantage of that as well. The link will be in the video description, or you can check out my bio for that. So let's go ahead quickly and look at USD JPY. That's another token that I love trading. Okay, that's another token that I love trading. And currently, this is what on I've already analyzed it. This is what I'm looking at for USDJPY. So at first, I was waiting when market started moving up. I was hoping that would come to fill this level right there, this other block right there, which did not happen. By the way, let me start with the monthly time frame and show you what you can expect. There is, one particular pattern that USDJPY has actually been forming that has amazed me. If you check, you see that USDJPY will always move either 3 to 4 candle, and then it will have a negative candle. If we have a push up, okay, 3 to 4 candle, you always get a sell. 3, 4, 5 candle, you get a sell. 3, 4, 5 candle, you get a sell. And if you have noticed this and used that pattern to be trading this token, then when they started selling around this area, you would have equally made money from it as well. All right. But right now, on the monthly time frame, you can see, if you check this other block we have around here, there is this fair value gap around this area that needs to be filled. Right. There's this fair value gap around this area that needs to be filled. And let's see the on the weekly time frame. Okay, so if you map out that other block on the monthly time frame, there's a fair value gap around this area, meaning there's a tendency that USDJPY needs to still come back down to this level to fill that level. And you can see this was our previous resistance. Okay, resistance, and we want to see that play out to become a support, right? And the market will bounce from here and start going back up. Okay, so that's what I want to see play out on USD JPY, because we've been resisting from this level for a while, and eventually we broke out of it, use it as a support, and market bounce up. So we want to see market gradually come back down to that level, which is why on the 4 hours time frame, okay, if you check that same level I mapped out on the 4 hours time frame, which is here, this level here, you can see this other block and then this fair value gap. And on the daily, you can just see that that has been filled already, but I need that to play out on the 4 hours time frame, right? I need that to play out on the 4 hours time frame. So we have we could actually use this as our other block, right? Okay, this level is still on the daily. The one on the daily is what I'm using. But if you want to bring it down to the 4 hours, we could use this. And then there is this fair value gap here too that needs to be filled. Which is why I was looking for a sell trade around that area, which did not happen. We just missed it by few pips. Okay, we just missed that entering by few pips, and then market started selling off from here. So if this doesn't play out, if this sell trade doesn't play out on USDJPY around that 158 level, then we'll be looking for the buy setup when market comes down to this level. And remember, on the monthly time frame, we have a fair value gap that still needs to be filled around this level here. Okay, so let me see what we have here on the 4 hours time frame. So here on the 4 hours, okay, just around that level of our monthly time frame, where we have that fair value gap on the monthly time frame. If we take this other block on the 4 hours, all right, if we take this other block on the 4 hours, there is, okay, you could actually say this has been mitigated already, but I think this level here still needs to be filled, right? This level here still needs to be filled. So that could make this level here a valid area that, you know, you could be looking for an entry if market fails to hold above this level, right? If market fails to hold above this level, then you could be looking at buying at that $150 level. But currently on the 4 hours time frame, the current price action I'm looking at is market coming to fill this other block around here with this fair value gap around there. So these are the two scenarios that I'm looking at for USD JPY, and I want to see how this will play out for this week. Okay, so if the short trade triggers, then we could actually be taking that. If the long one triggers, we could be taking that. And make sure you manage your capital very well by using stop losses. If this level fails, then we could be looking at that monthly level, and that will give us a nice risk to reward ratio going to the upside. All right, that is all I'm looking at for gold, for BTC, for PIPPIN, and then for USDJPY for this week. Right, so if you want to join me trading crypto, trading some of these other currency pairs like gold, USDJPY, and the rest using one particular platform, make sure you sign up using the link in the video description. Check out my bio for that. Join us on Telegram for regular updates. Join us on Telegram for regular updates. That is it for this video, guys. If you are new here, you're welcome. Make sure that you smash the like button if you have gained value from the video. Subscribe to the channel to be the first to be notified whenever we publish our weekly and daily analysis like this, and join us on Telegram for more details. I'll see you guys in my next video.